Hello and welcome to another edition of Debatable here on GodIsAGeek.com. My name is Colm and this week I'm talking about the Kinect and moving motion controls. In 1864, Herbert Spencer coined the phrase survival of the fittest after reading Charles Darwin's On the Origin of Species. It originated as a way of describing natural selection, but ironically has since come to mean something slightly different among the populace. The cream rises to the top when two entities are in battle. No matter what, there's always a winner and there's always a loser. You have to adapt to your surroundings or you'll be left in the dust by your rival. On May 21st, 2013, Microsoft put on a special presentation where they announced the all-in-one entertainment system, Xbox One. Along with TV and social networks and whatnot, Kinect was touted as an integral part of the console. You couldn't use the system unless the camera was plugged in, and there was no SKU available without the sensor bundled with it. After many worried that Kinect 2.0 would be watching their every move in their front room, Microsoft made some changes and said people could use the Xbox One without the all-seeing eye. This move was made even before November 22nd, the console's arrival on retail shelves. But like the now famous 180 on DRM, this past week Phil Spencer announced a Kinectless Xbox One will be on the market come June 9th. No longer do you have to buy the shiny gen box of the green side with a stupid invasive camera. Plus, this new SKU will be $100 cheaper, making their fight with Sony far more interesting as we now battle on a level playing field with both systems, minus their cameras, retail for $399 standard. Naturally enough, this poses the question: does Microsoft think the Kinect is a waste of time and they were wrong to bundle it in the first place? Well, along with the announcement, there was also a video this week where Xbox's Yusuf Mehdi and Phil Cool Dad Spencer spoke about the Kinectless SKU. But for the most part, the video was them playing with consumers to embrace the camera rather than vilify it. Spencer said that Microsoft plan on continuing to innovate on Kinect. Well, I have to ask the question, why in the name of fuck are you taking it out then? The story of Xbox One is full of backtracking and mixed messages. This is just another instance of the company not knowing what's going on, or at least giving that impression to the public. Now don't get me wrong, it's great that they've dropped the price to match the RRP of PS4, but the real bold move would be to keep Kinect in the box and still drop the price, giving them an advantage over their competition as their camera must be bought separately. And where does this leave developers that have stood by Microsoft's motion control thingamabob? Well, Harmonix found out at the same time as the rest of us. Director of Publishing and PR at the studio, John Drake, was obviously upset with the news, as everyone at the development house was. There's no question that the best use of the camera has been from the Boston-based boys and girls who poured their heart and soul into plastic instruments before you became the controller. Fantasia is on the horizon, and while it looks decent at the minute, the new version of Kinect didn't leave the womb of Don Matrick to much fanfare. Prior to the big Xbox presser at last year's E3, it was announced that Kinect Sports Rivals wouldn't be available on the console's scheduled release, and the video game playing public were left with shite like Fighter Within on launch day. Of course, Kinect Sports Rivals didn't exactly receive much love once it was released in the second week of April, but its delay meant that the camera was already lagging behind. Like Harmonix, Rare is a studio that's associated with the Kinect. People are clamouring to see them return to something more along the lines of Donkey Kong or Conker's Bad Fur Day, and now that the Kinect has had its legs cut from under it, is Sports Rivals 2 even worth it now? Microsoft is looking into the possibility of giving devs more processing power. Previously, when the Kinect was required, 10% of the Xbox One's GPU was reserved for the camera. With resolution gates still adding fuel to fanboy flames, this may allow third-party Xbox One titles to get a step closer to that coveted 1080 pixels. On top of that, the interface is being completely redesigned with the controller in mind. As of now, many tout the Kinect's voice-enable feature as the easiest way to get around the dashboard. But once the UI is overhauled, it sounds like you'll be pressing buttons again and not screaming at your telly like an absolute lunatic. News that entertainment apps can be used without a gold subscription and games with gold on Xbox One was completely overshadowed by Cool Dad Spencer taking Kinect 2.0 out the back and putting a bullet through its plastic head. Consumer choice is wonderful, and it's important to evolve to the market's wants and needs, but there comes a time where you have to wonder what's going on in Seattle. Come June, you'll be able to buy a box that is worlds apart from the one they were so excited to announce in May last year. What's their vision for this thing? Microsoft has a massive E3 coming up, and I for one can't wait to watch the whole shitstorm unfold. Out of the Wiimote, the Move and the Kinect, the one that actually excited me the most, seemed to have the most promise, was definitely the Kinect. It delivered some of the worst motion control gamings, yes it did, but it also delivered some of the best, like the Dance Central series. There was something there, there genuinely did seem to be something. But it's dead now. Microsoft have shown their hands by taking it out of the box. So, bye-bye Kinect. Well look, that's just what I think. Maybe you think something different. If you do, please let us know in the comment section of the YouTube video or the comment section of the article. Tweet me. Because everything I say on the past shows, the future shows, and this show, I mean look, it's just my opinion and my opinion alone. And as always, it's debatable.